Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today we got, as we were promised, the Endgame Collapse blog post and video showing us what the endgame is going to be. These new changes are going to come to the game starting in the public test build on PC on April the 23rd, along with Legion changes and probably some other changes as well. We're going to get to test it in PTB April the 23rd, next Tuesday. And then, assuming everything goes off without a hitch, it'll roll out probably 2 weeks after that. So, this Endgame Collapse, I clipped this little bit of audio from Matthew Cote's stream the other day, and it got me pretty hyped. So, I'm just going to play that for you. And then we'll go ahead and look at this video. So, here's what Matthew Cote himself had to say about the Endgame Collapse change.
You're excited for the Endgame update? Yeah, the Endgame Collapse is, it took us a long time to do it right, but I think it's another really, really impressive piece of design from that team, and I do think it's going to make the game a lot better.
So that got me pretty hyped, and I was anxious to see what the changes were going to be. So the blog post came out today around just before 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it reads, People of the Fog, in order to improve the overall Trials gameplay experience, we're introducing the Endgame Collapse, a new phase that pushes all lingering survivors to escape before being claimed by the entity. The Endgame phase will raise the stakes, urging the killers and survivors to make tough decisions while under the pressure of the timer. This new Endgame phase adds a 3-minute countdown when activated, new gate, hatch, and generator interactions, and a brand new entity sacrifice when the timer expires. And then they showed us this video. So let me go ahead and play that for all of you here now.
The Endgame Collapse is a new phase that pushes all lingering survivors to escape before being claimed by the entity, which draws the trial to a brutal close. Players can activate the endgame phase in 2 ways: by opening a powered-up exit gate or by closing the hatch. Both the killer and survivor can open the exit gates. Only the killer can close the hatch. A 3-minute countdown will start as soon as the endgame phase is activated. A progression bar will appear on the screen to indicate how much time remains. The countdown's pace will be altered by the state of the survivors. The progression will go slower when a survivor is hooked or put into a dying state. Each time the countdown is depleted by a quarter, survivors will receive audio and visual cues of the impending collapse. When time runs out, any survivor remaining, even those hiding in lockers, will fall into the clutches of the entity. They will count as regular sacrifices for the killer. When only one survivor remains, the hatch will spawn and open, no matter how many generators were repaired. Once the endgame phase is activated, all generators will be blocked by the entity. Tensions will run high as the survivors race against the clock to save their friends from the entity, while evading the killer. But in the end, all will collapse.
That's pretty hot. I do like the idea of the... I think this lives up to the hype. If you ask me, this lives up to the hype. It's pretty cool. What do y'all think? I do see some interesting implications in this. Like, you know how if you were always afraid that the killer would have Blood Warden, and you're like, well, I'm just going to 99 the gate until the person's hooked to make sure there isn't Blood Warden. Now, imagine if you down somebody near the gate, and then you can just, as the killer, you can go, oh, did you 99 that gate? Let me get it for you, and just come over and tap the gate to open it, and then hook the person to activate your own Blood Warden. That would be pretty interesting. I am just glad that it isn't like an ever-encroaching circle of fog, like Fortnite-esque, where the actual play area of the map was going to get smaller and smaller. I think this is a great idea, as Matthew said. Great piece of design. It lives up to the hype. This visual of the entity hand coming up and just from the ground and grabbing the survivor is really cool. You see that they've used the corrupt intervention on all of the gens there. So it is interesting that you can get a hatch spawn without even any generators being done now. So if somebody's getting really wrecked after the first 3K, there's still an opportunity for that fourth person standing to get the hatch. Is that going to encourage slugging? Because you want to make sure that everybody's downed. We'll have to see. My only real concern for this, though, is if you get to endgame and you go to make a basement rescue, and then the killer just decides they're going to block the stairs and nobody can get out, and then you're at the mercy of the timer. So that's my only red flag on this thing. King. That's my only red flag on this whole thing is my fear is that killers will be able to block basement stairs and wait out the timer and get easy kills. So maybe they have something in mind for that. That if, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be scary. Basement stairs are going to be scary if people start to implement that tactic. Basement saves. But I do like this, that you don't have to worry about if you're killer, like, I get it, you're in the gate teabagging, just go away, and people won't go away now. They're going to be forced to go away. I like that both the killer and the survivor can initiate endgame by opening the door, or the killer can close the hatch, obviously. I think this does look like it's a great piece of design and is going to make the game fun. You won't have these long drawn-out games where somebody's like, oh, I'm owning this killer. I'm going to go open every chest on the map and go and cleanse every totem. It's like, no, you got to get out. So it's going to make games shorter. I've seen some streamers wait as long as like 45 minutes in a hatch standoff. So those days are gone. There's not going to be any more hatch standoffs. I think everybody's going to be happy that that piece of the game is gone. I can't wait to see this. We're going to be testing it live on Tuesday. As soon as the PTB goes live, I'm going to be there showing it to y'all. So hopefully you are all excited about this as well. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know what else I have to say about it. There are going to be some perks or achievements that are going to need to be changed probably. Like Left Behind is what are we doing with Left Behind now? So I don't know. We'll have to see. Some stuff's probably going to change. One more time. Let's hear it with the audio.
The Endgame Collapse is a new phase that pushes
how
all
much the
lingering
timer will
survivors
get
to
slowed
escape
down
before being
when
claimed
people
by
are
the
injured
entity,
and hooked, though.
which draws the trial to a brutal close. Players can activate the endgame phase in two ways: by opening a powered-up exit gate or by closing the hatch. Both the killer and survivor can open the exit gates. Only the killer can close the hatch. A 3-minute countdown will start as soon as the endgame phase is activated. A progression bar will appear on the screen to indicate how much time remains. The countdown's pace will be altered by the state of the survivors. The progression will go slower when a survivor is hooked or put into a dying state. Each time the countdown is depleted by a quarter, survivors will receive audio and visual cues of the impending collapse. When time runs out, any survivor remaining, even those hiding in lockers, will fall into the clutches of the entity.
It looks so
cool. They will count as regular sacrifices for the killer. When only one survivor remains, the hatch will spawn and open, no matter how many generators were repaired. Once the endgame phase is activated, all generators will be blocked by the entity. Tensions will run high as the survivors race against the clock to save their friends from the entity, while evading the killer. But in the end, all will collapse.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So I guess at that point, once killer finds a hatch, once Killer finds the hatch, then they close it, they've powered the gates, endgame phase has started, then you got 3 minutes to escape out of one of the 2 doors. So you know the game's not going to go any longer than 3 minutes. So that's pretty cool. One concern I saw was that all of the VFX of the ground cracking and everything might hurt performance, but hopefully, since they're continuing to work on optimization and improve optimization for everyone, that isn't going to be an issue and won't affect anybody's frames going forward. So those are my concerns. There aren't many. I think that the new endgame design looks great. I can't wait to try it out. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Just want to do this quick little newsy blurb video to talk about this endgame collapse, but I'm super excited for it and hope you are too. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day and take care of each other out there in the fog. We'll see you tonight for regular stream. Bye-bye.